Oh, what up, good people of YouTube? It's the boy Rich. We're back with another 6v6 Pokemon battle for the channel against the homie Gage. I want to start keeping these intros kind of short so we can get straight into the battle. Just gonna go ahead and, throw that out there. But anyway, as you guys can see from the Pokemon we're using, it's an OU Pokemon battle. I've been playing a stupid, ridiculous amount of OU lately. I will admit that I'm warming up to the tier. I tell you guys in the past videos, I'm very afraid of this tier because of, Pokemon like Toxapex and Ferrothorns, especially when they're on the same team. But sometimes you just got to deal with it, and my opponent actually has those on his team now. But I will say he doesn't have the worst team because he actually has some pretty cool Pokemon as well, like Keldeo, Alakazam, Zapdos, Pokemon that I don't see, personally in most of the OU battles that I play. Typically it's, Halunchas, Swamperts, Pelipper, stuff like that. But I just kind of had a Gastrodon on my team that I wanted to go ahead and throw out there because this Pokemon recently made a jump from PU to OU, and I wanted to see what he was about. So I just trained one up and threw him on the team because I wanted to see, why this Pokemon was such a problem. I personally didn't have any trouble with him before, but like I said, I just wanted to see what it's about. Then I have a Victini on the team as well. I don't use this Pokemon too often, so I threw him on the team as well. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into the battle. I didn't care what my opponent was going to start out with, just straight up. I didn't care. I was like, I'm starting out with Victini. It's a jolly physical attacking Victini that has U-turn on it, and he's Choice Scarf, so I'm going to be faster than everything, and I'll just go ahead and get the momentum. It's just the best play. So my opponent actually starts out with the Alakazam, and I was like, yo, this is perfect. I was like, hopefully he stays in, thinking I'm not Choice Scarfed and thinking he's going to hit me with a clean Shadow Ball and kill my Victini. Because that would be really ideal for me. So I am just gonna go ahead and click the U-turn as my opponent does stay in and Mega Evolve with his Alakazam, and I'm just gonna go ahead and GTF out of here because I'm not trying to stay in and die on the first turn. So I am just gonna go ahead and go into my Greninja because I figured my opponent was not gonna click Focus Blast by any means. I was like, I don't know what this Alakazam's moveset is, but luckily for me, he didn't click the Focus Blast. He did just go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball right here, thinking that he had the momentum, but it was all an illusion, and I actually had full control of the turn right there. So yeah, I'm just being really silly right now, guys. But my opponent swaps out into the Magearna, and I decided to go ahead and click Water Shuriken just because I wanted to go ahead and get that Alakazam out of here. But I did not regret clicking that Water Shuriken. While I am Choice Specs, I still feel like that was doing a good amount of damage. Typically when I see the Magearnas, they have, they're rocking the Assault Vest on them, and special attacking moves just do absolutely nothing to these things. But I could tell from the damage that this thing was not rocking the Assault Vest, and my opponent actually follows up that turn using Shift Gear to, I guess, make sure that his Magearna was just stupid fast. And then now he decides to go ahead and hit me with the Electric Z move, which was really different. I have never honestly fought a Magearna that was holding the Gigavolt Havoc, the Electric Z move. I swapped out into my Victini thinking he was going to go for like a Flare Cannon. But yeah, that's definitely not the case. He hits me up with this Electric Z move, and it does a good amount of damage as I just decided to U-turn out. I thought my opponent would try to swap out, preserving his Magearna, but it's not the case, and I just kind of over-predicted right here. But I was just going to go ahead and go into my Zero Aura right here because I thought that this was just kind of the best play at the time, but then I realized, I was like, this thing is fast and can hit me with the Flare Cannon. So I do have a specially defensive Gastrodon, max HP, max special defense on the team that could probably take a Flare Cannon a lot better than a Zero Aura can. So yeah, my opponent went for the Ice Beam right here. Sorry, got a little bit caught up. And now he's going for the Focus Blast, and none of these moves are really hurting me too much to where I feel scared by any means. And I'm just going to go ahead and fire off the Scald right here just to get just a little bit of damage. Like, I don't know, like I really wasn't worried about anything too much, but I was like, yeah, this is definitely the why Gastrodon is on the team. This man can eat special attacks. I've been using this Pokemon in a lot of different battles lately, and I definitely can see why he's in OU. He has been, my Gastrodon has been beating like Tapu Lele's and just everything. He's been crippling teams and stuff. I kind of got a bit of a cheesy set on my Gastrodon. I got these, I have Stockpile, Toxic, and recover as my other moves. But yeah, that's pretty much what he's about. My opponent goes into this Alakazam, and I was like, there's no way that this thing has the freaking energy ball. He was throwing this thing in here just to, you know, absorb some scald damage from Trace. But my opponent definitely had the energy ball on him, and my Gastrodon fell to that thing. So yeah, he didn't really get to do too much during this battle, but like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to upload a different video, and you guys will see what Gastrodon is about if you don't already know. That Pokemon is really good. But anyway, I went to my Victini, and I was like, you know what, I'm not about to overpredict right here. I want this thing gone, even though the burn was probably going to kill him after like 1 or 2 turns anyway, but I didn't want to take the chance of a U-turn not killing him. So yeah, this was not the ideal matchup for me, especially since my speed got lowered back to its like base speed because, you know, I'm Choice Scarfed or whatnot, but I was locked in the V-Crate, which was not going to do anything to this Keldeo. So I did just decide to go ahead and swap out to my physically defensive Mew, because I was like, it's a psychic type. If this thing is a physical attacking Keldeo, then, you know, he's in for some trouble right here. But my opponent actually subbed up, and now he's, you know, getting some Calm Minds off, and I'm just like, damn it. Like, hopefully this thing is not about to start launching off any Hydro Pumps or something, you know, anything like that, because my Mew ain't built for all of that. So I am just going to go ahead and Side Shock this thing up. I figured if my Mew is going to leave this field, then he's going to leave this field with this freaking Keldeo not behind a substitute, because worst case scenario, he kills my Mew. As long as he's not behind a substitute, I will be able to bring my Zero Aura in here and hit this thing up with a clean Plasma Fist. But my opponent's actually just kind of being weird right here, and he's just going to keep subbing up, and I'm just like, bro, that ain't it. That ain't the play to go for. You're going to get hit with the Side Shock. If not, then you could keep subbing up, and then my Mew will kill you anyway. So this actually started looking a little bit bright for me at the time. He has the leftovers, and yeah, I was like, this thing is probably about to hit me with Hydro Pump, so hopefully I can take one after, you know, him getting one Calm Mind up. And luckily for me, I was rocking Side Shock instead of Psychic, because, you know, that could have kind of been bad. I still, I guess, feel like I would have been breaking his substitutes, but yeah, he's Calm Minding up. Psyshocks will always be doing the same amount of damage since it does that physical damage to him. And he actually decides to hit me with the Scald, I guess showing me that he's not rocking the Hydro Pump. So that was really lucky for me, as my opponent hits me with that second Scald. I get burned, but you guys already know what Mews are about. They don't like being burned alone. They don't like being paralyzed alone, and they don't like sleeping alone either. They don't mind being frozen alone, but that's a whole different story. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit this thing up with a second Side Shock, and he's not going to be able to live that, while I am going to still be out here. Luckily for me, after, you know, after getting my leftovers damage, I am able to stay in here after, you know, taking a little bit of burn damage. My opponent throws in the Alakazam, traces my Synchronize, and yeah, I figured since my guy's burned, he has like 10 HP, Mew has kind of run his course in the battle. I am very proud of what he's did. He stopped that Keldeo from, you know, getting that clean Keldeo sweep, so I am proud of what my Mew did. But it's time for Greninja to come out here and start doing Greninja stuff. So his Alakazam is out here just energy balling my stuff. I'm thinking my opponent must have, you know, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of the best play for him to go for, because if I would have hard swapped back out into my Greninja, then I would have absolutely just got destroyed by that again. But it's not the case. I just went for the U-turn right here. So if my opponent did stay in and go for the energy ball, that would have really sucked, because Alakazam is definitely faster than my Greninja. But I U-turned out of here. I got some momentum. This Toxapex is in here, and my Zero Aura is in here. So I love this Pokemon, by the way. I have not taken him off my OU team since this Pokemon came out and I got a hold of one. So yeah, shout out to my boy Flawless for getting me one, by the way. You guys should check him out because he's beast. But anyway, I went for the Fire Punch right here, thinking that Fairthorn would come in, because obviously I was going to go ahead and go for like a Plasma Fist, right? But my opponent is just playing so good. Gage is playing so good around my Zero Aura right here, because yeah, he just stays in and he can take Fire Punches from my Zero Aura all day. I went for a second Fire Punch thinking, alright, he's definitely got to swap now. But it's just not the case again, and I'm just over here pretty much killing myself. He Toxics me, puts me on a freaking Toxic timer. And I really wasn't worried initially, because I was like, I mean, Zero Aura, I got the Life Orb on him. My Zero Aura is not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. So, you know, I was really trying to have a good time right here, but it's not the case. And my opponent he's just playing around me so good, because this third time I actually went for the plasma fist, because I was like, all right, I'm not going for fire punch. I was like, obviously he wants to stay in and play these games, but he makes a good play. He swaps out into the Ferrothorn on the third turn, and he's just, getting every single turn all these calculations right. And now not only am I taking my life orb damage, not only am I taking the toxic damage, but I just took freaking iron barbs damage. If this thing had a Rocky helmet, I damn near would have killed myself just now. But now my opponent is just going to go ahead and protect up with his Ferrothorn, showing me that this thing probably has like Leech Seed and stuff on it. This is one of the reasons why this Pokemon is so annoying. But after he protects, I just went for the Plasma Fist, thinking he would swap right back out into his Toxapex, expecting me to Fire Punch again. But he actually, like I said, he just went for the protect, and my guy dies to the toxic damage right there. Now I figured my opponent would go ahead and swap out to the Toxapex right here, because obviously I was going to go for like a V create or something, and I just keep these over predictions just coming just back to back to back, as I just went for the Bolt Strike. I was like, hopefully Bolt Strike isn't like a move that, is pretty common on Victinis. I don't really know, because I don't battle this Pokemon too much, because I don't play OU too much, but lately I have. But yeah, I just haven't seen too many Victinis, but my guy definitely has that Bolt Strike on him, and luckily for me, I got that prediction right, because if I didn't, I would have been locked into Bolt Strike against the Ferrothorn, who would have been taking nothing from that. So anyway, I just decided to go ahead and hard swap into my Greninja, who is Choice Specs, by the way. I'm not sure if I said that earlier in the battle, but he is Choice Specs, and I didn't really have any moves for this Toxapex with the Greninja, but I'm thinking maybe my opponent thought I had like extra sensory or something. Not the case. I was just gonna go ahead and try to get some really strong dark pulses up. Even though I'm Choice Specs, I don't think that would have been hurting that Toxapex too much. But I figured my opponent, I guess, decided, his Alakazam was going to die anyway, and, he could swap out his Toxapex and get that nice regenerator recovery. So my opponent actually decides to go ahead and swap out to Zapdos, and I was like, I can get a really strong Dark Pulse, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, I can get a flinch on the Zapdos. And as you guys can see, I did. I got the flinch right there, which was like super big, because the Zapdos definitely would have murdered my life with electric type electric typing move, like whatever, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, whatever my opponent clicked was gonna kill my Greninja if I didn't get that flinch right there. So that was actually really big, but it just kind of left my opponent's two walls right here, which I wasn't too afraid of, because I was like, I still have Zygarde in the back, who I could get like a Dragon Dance up, then start launching off some 1,000 arrows and whatnot. And I went for a Dark Pulse right there, got a crit right here, and I was like, all right, this is perfect. Like, I'm about to kill this Toxapex. Then the last Pokemon I'll have to deal with is a Ferrothorn, and I still have my Victini in the back, so I'm not worried too much about the rest of this battle. I figured I had it in the bag. My opponent actually decided to forfeit right there. I guess after me getting that lucky flinch and then that lucky crit, it was enough to realize that there was no coming back from that. So it was a good game. I did enjoy playing this battle, and yeah, I felt like it was a good battle, so I just wanted to go ahead and get an upload up. Also, because I have not got an upload up in like a week. But what I'm telling you guys, I have like 100 battles. I even maxed out on my battle record. I really got to start recording more. Yeah, if not for you guys, for me. Like, also, like I said, I really like doing this, guys. But thank you guys if you're still watching at this point. If you guys like the battle, go ahead and drop that like for me. If you're not subbed to me, go ahead and do that too, if you're looking forward to my future battles. And if you guys do want to battle me, I know I typically say catch me in the comments, but honestly, I've been kind of bad about it, and I apologize for that if you guys have hit me up in the comments trying to battle me. Sometimes I just get the YouTube notifications really late for some reason. But yeah, just hit me up on Twitter. Twitter, I am on constantly. Twitter never messes with me. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Like, I'll leave the link and all that in the description. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the battle. I will catch you guys in the next one, which is going to be later today, by the way. I'll catch you guys. Peace out.